Behind every Filipina's name and image is a story, an inspiring tale. I'm Daphne Osenia Paez. Join me as we journey into the lives of the Filipinas, the beautiful women who've made every single day of their lives meaningful.
I'm Regine Velasquez and I'm a proud Filipina.
Tonight, Proudly Filipina presents Asia's Songbird sings it all out. Her dreams, her success, and her love.
He has written many songs since naging together kami. So feeling ko sa akin lahat yun. Care ko. Kahit hindi akin yun, care ko. So sa akin yun. Kasama na ako doon. Nandun na ako eh.
The first Pinays to reach the summit of Mount Everest. Their triumphs, the slopes and the slips, and finally, the top of the world.
Everest is just a metaphor of life. So, parang yung mga problema natin, Everest yan.
This is a story about dreams. A young girl who dreamt of making it big in the recording industry and got more than what she wished for. This is also about my dream interview coming true. I arrived 3 minutes early from my call time for my first interview with Miss Regine Velasquez. But to my biggest surprise, the Asia Songbird had arrived half an hour earlier than I. Though I wasn't late, I was already feeling embarrassed while having myself made up. And then I learned that Regine always comes earlier than the call time. Sitting quietly in one corner, Regine never acted like the typical diva would have. She is the diva who had the heart to wait. She amused herself by playing with her best friend George. Then I became more at ease when we warmed up with a short talk before the cameras were rolling for the actual interview. Are you ready? Okay, game? So you're definitely at the top of your game. No one has achieved what you have achieved. Was it ever lonely at the top?
For me, it was never lonely. Kasi feeling ko I was so blessed. God just gave me all these opportunities, you know. Parang ang tanga-tanga mo naman to be lonely.
Nagpapasalamat ako sa inyong dalawa dahil narating ko at natupad kong lahat ng pinapangarap ko. I want for you to know that I am very proud to be your daughter. And I thank God. I love you, Mama. I love you, Papa. The song is for both of you. Bakit ako mahihiya?
After 20 years in the business, success is one thing that Regine is most familiar with. Coming from a humble beginning, her journey to the road of success was never easy. Tell me about your childhood. Where were you born?
I was born in Manila. Mga 5 years old ako. We went to Southern Leyte because my mom's from there. So we stayed there for like about mga 4 years, ganyan 5 years. Actually, nung nandun ako sa Leyte, they discovered that mahilig akong kumanta, that I could sing. And I remember the first song that I memorized on my own was Mr. DJ. I was such a big Sharon Cuneta fan. I started joining amateur singing contest. Yung tinitrain ako na tatay ko sa dagat.
Ano ba yun? Underwater? As in?
No, the water's up to my neck lang. Tapos he'll make me sing. So parang parang na-develop lang yung lungs ko.
Pagka-umaga, sabi ko agad, ligo tayo sa dagat. Gusto niya yung tuwa siya dahil mahilig siya. Pa kami ng dagat, pababayaan ko muna siya mag-swimming. Pagka yung napagod na sa pag-swimming, sabi ko sa kanya, alika, kanta na tayo rito.
What was your life like as a child in Bulacan?
humble beginnings nga kami, di ba? My family was, kasi nagsastart lang yung mama ko tsaka papa ko, so mahirap lang sila. Wala masyadong madaming money, so I wanted to help. So, nag-join ako ng mga amateur singing contest so I could help my father.
Sanay ka na mag-join ng contest?
Over 300,000 yata. 300 singing contest yata yung sinalinan ko na ang napanalunan ko yata mga 65.
And then, the contest that changed your life?
That was in 1984. Struggle pa rin. Akala ko nga, after bagong kampiyon, mababago na rin yung buhay ko and my dreams would all come true na, no? Na I'll be a recording artist na, I'll do concerts and stuff like that. Hindi pa rin.
Until one telegram message reached her in Bulacan.
Walang telepono. Walang telepono pa. Wala pang pager din. Tsaka kaya telegrama talaga.
Pops recommended her as one of the new artists to look out for. And when I went to the studio, I was listening to her rehearse. Yung kumanta siya, talagang my jaw was on the floor.
Would you say that meeting Ronnie Henares changed the course of your life?
Yeah. Because parang nabigyan ako ng break. Kasi he knew a lot of people, syempre. Alam niya kung paano ako i-introduce ulit.
From Chona Velasquez, Ronnie Henares baptized her with a new name, Regine. Where did you get the name Regine?
I'm Regina kasi. Regina ako. So tinanong niya kung anong real name ko. Sabi, my name is Regina. So sabi niya, okay, Chona. Kasi feeling niya yung Chona is a bit too old for me. Kasi nga I started, nung nakuha niya ako, 16 years old na ako na.
At 17 years old, Regine recorded her first album in 1987. You were entering the music industry, which was male-dominated back in the 80s, no? What was it like? Mahirap ba yun?
Mahirap yun. Like I said, ang haba ng struggle ko eh.
Her first major show was a show at the Rizal Theater. I remember that so well because towards the show already, mag-show na kami, yung mga ticket sales lang namin, 30%. Hindi pa siya masyadong kilala eh. So, I remember we had to postpone that show.
When the concert did not push through as scheduled, Regine got depressed.
Napilginitan ko yung hair ko, so pinutol ko siya ng maikli. And at that time, everybody was, you know, sporting a long hair kasi yun yung uso that time. Suddenly, I came out with the short hair. Talagang boyish yung look ko. And parang nagulat lahat.
Bakit kaya nangamba sa ika'y makikita?
Then, in 1989, Regine got her biggest break when she joined the Asia-Pacific Singing Contest in Hong Kong.
I actually didn't want to do it eh. Kasi parang feeling ko, I'm already finished with singing contest. That's how I started and why am I doing it again now? Parang, plus, if I lose, parang meron na akong pinagsimulan eh. Kumbaga nakikilala na rin ako konti-konti as Regine Velasquez.
And that was the start of her flying talaga.
That till life is through, I'll still be loving you.
After winning the contest, Regine's career momentum soared to greater heights. She released her second album, aptly titled 1990. The success of her second album was immediately followed by the fulfillment of one of her greatest dreams, her first major solo concert. Narito Ako wowed the crowds at the Folk Arts Theater. The audience gave her standing ovations all throughout.
I remember we were backstage, and then she decided to peek at the audience to see if there were people. Hindi siya sigurado na may tao, hindi ba allergic na siya eh. So when she looked, talagang punong-puno. At yung lumabas siya, yung parang, narito ako. You could hear the whole place go, wow! Talagang iyak si Regine nun. I think she must have cried 5 times that night.
Narito ako, umiibig.
Alam mo, when I was in Asia, ayaw nila pasabi na Pilipina ako. Oo, pag ini-interview ko, don't tell them you're Filipino. Because why?
What was it like? Mahirap ba yun? Regine Velasquez has become so big that she seems invincible. But it was a big surprise when I discovered she has fears, like any woman.
I always get nervous singing the national anthem. No, I only sang it twice, and I hope I don't do it anymore. I'm sorry.
Is it the difficult?
It's a difficult piece, first of all. Oo. Second, parang they always ask you to sing it in a cappella. It's hard to sing in a cappella, no? Na, to begin with.
And so she takes.
Have you ever considered Broadway?
Not really. Although nag-audition ako for Miss Saigon sa New York. Bali, after like a month yata, they asked me to go to London to train. Pero nag-back out na ako kasi na-realize ko hindi ko kaya. Alam ko na I'm gonna be alone. Ako lang mag-isa nandun. Parang natatakot ako.
Her success echoed even in the main hall of Carnegie in New York in 1991, making Regine Velasquez the first Filipino to stage a solo concert there.
I remember she was singing, just kicking her legs, biglang lumipad yung isang sapatos niya. So, anong gagawin niya ngayon? May isang paa na may high heels, yung isa walang sapatos na lumipad eh. Diba? Ang ginawa niya, tinanggal na rin niya yung isang sapatos. So wala siyang sapatos for practically the whole show.
Regine also conquered Asia with her 3 multi-platinum albums and finally became the legitimate Asia songbird.
Please welcome Miss Regine Velasquez.
Remember my name. I'm gonna live forever.
Regine was successful all over Asia for basically 2 reasons. One is that she's just super talented. And secondly, I think she made it in Asia because she's sexy.
Alam mo, when I was in Asia, ayaw nila pasabi na Pilipina ako. Oo, pag ini-interview ko, don't tell them you're Filipino. Because why? Kasi daw yung sa Asia, puro mga domestic helpers. Sabi ko. So pag tinatanong ako, tignan ko yung, I'm Filipino. But I can sing.
The songbird has proven that Filipinas can indeed proudly carry the country's banner throughout the world. What do you think is it that we have as Filipina women na kakayanin?
First of all, yung mga singers natin na Pilipina, magagaling talagang kumanta. Alam niya ng buong mundo na pag Pilipino ka, magaling ka kumanta. Alam niya nila. Mahirap lang kasi talaga mag-mainstream eh. Asian eh. Wala pa rin talagang pumapasok na Asian. But I'm sure one of these days, meron din makikilalang Pilipino na magiging superstar. Who will be the next Regine Velasquez? Type na type ko yun. kasi nung bata ako, laging, who will be the next Kulitas? Is it Regine? Di ba? Is it Regine? Ganun lang ako.
What is your song for Ogie?
Sorry. Pangarap kong ibigin ka because it was the first, actually, first song he ever wrote for me.
After more than 20 years in the business, Regine's look and fashion statement have evolved with her career.
Regine is a very fashionable person. If you notice, pati yung hairstyle niya, laging iniiban niya para to reinvent herself. She's one of the few people na who can wear something very sexy without looking vulgar.
I'm wearing a formal gown. It may be a little sexy, showing a little bit of skin, but it's still a formal gown.
What look, by now you know, memorize mo na what looks good on you, and what is that? What is the silhouette na talagang bagay sa'yo?
Ano bang silhouette na bagay sa
Or
akin?
Cuts? What do you like to emphasize? Is it your back, your front?
My front.
Here's my lifelong wish.
To help one of her favorite foundations, she had her collection of gowns auctioned off.
Higit kumulang kalahating milyon ang inabot noon. Parehong paniniwala namin ni Regine, no? Ika nga sa Ingles, ano ha, pay forward, no? Yung binigay sa'yo, dapat ibalik mo rin, no? I-share mo rin sa mga taong nangangailangan.
Marami siyang concerts na ginagawa to help out those in need. Marami na siyang organizations na tinutulungan. So, ganun siya ka matulungin.
And is it important for you to give back?
I do my share. I do my little share of giving kasi importante yan sa akin kasi parang feeling ko pagka nag-share ka, mas binibless ka ni God.
Dadalhin lang pala ng hangin ang pangarap ko.
You also do a lot of charity work that you don't publicize, that no one really knows. How come?
Parang nawawala kasi sa akin yung totoong purpose if I announce it to the world that I did this, I did that, na parang I'm just bragging.
Alam mo ba, pinag-uusapan na tayo.
Ha?
Oo, kung ano-ano mga chismis ang lumalabas sa labas, kung ano-ano pinagsasasabi nila tungkol sa atin. Pinag-uusapan nila tayo.
Ganon?
Oo, tayo na daw.
Another thing the songbird is very reserved about is her relationship with singer-songwriter Ogie Alcacid.
Hindi pa rin talaga namin maramdaman yung freedom na supposedly yun nga yung gusto namin. And that's the reason why we came out, right? But eventually siguro people will get used to the idea. They'll get used to us being us, so...
What would be the ideal situation?
Siguro the ideal situation is for one of us to stop. Because if both of us is in the same business, I think it's gonna be really difficult for the relationship. And
Would you be willing to be the one?
yes, very much. Yeah, like I said, you know, I've been doing this all my life, and I've done almost everything already, and it's about time for me to just think of this life na talaga, hindi na career.
You may now kiss the bride.
You know, you've achieved everything you said, and you're ready now to take the next phase of your life. So if you could tell me again, what is that next phase?
Having siguro a family of my own. I'm giving myself another year maybe to be in this business, but I want to be able to slow down already. I still love to do all my TV shows, pero hindi na siguro. This is not gonna be my priority anymore. I can't concentrate on so many things all at the same time. I have to do one thing at a time. And I feel that now that I already have a personal life, I want to give myself to that person. And gusto ko pag umuwi siya, I'm there waiting for him. I don't like the other way around na siya yung naghihintay sa akin. Parang, I want him to be my priority.
What is your song for Ogie? Sorry.
Meron talagang ganun. Meron talagang. Pangarap kong ibigin ka because it was the first, actually, first song he ever wrote for me. For me na parang nagkakagustuhan na kami ng time na yun. So yun.
Pangarap ko ay ibigin ka at sa habang panahon ika'y makasama. Ikaw na lang ang siyang kulang sa buhay ko ito. Pangarap ko ang ibigin ka.
So that's also his song for you.
Parang, he has another song for me pero he has written many songs since naging together kami. So, feeling ko sa akin lahat yun. Care ko. Kahit hindi akin yun, care ko. Basta akin yun. Kasama na ako doon. Nandun na ako eh.
Can I ask you something about your ring?
My ring. It's not an engagement ring. Promise it's not. It's my engagement ring for myself. I bought it.
Gift to self.
Gift to self, not gift to self.
Alright.
It's good to always give yourself the gift. Because that's my pang-uto to myself. I work really hard and then I buy myself a gift.
Ako'y alipin mo.
Now that she has finally done what she wanted to achieve, her priorities have changed.
But music is also in her blood, so a little music on the side probably won't hurt.
I would like to produce more. And I'd like to produce other artists talaga. For other artists talaga. Yun ang talagang gusto ko.
She has a feel for the market. So because of that, I think she will be successful. And I'm sure she'll be successful as a housewife and as a mother.
Thank you so much. This is really, no, really. This has really been an amazing thing for me.
You're welcome. Welcome. No, but thank you very much. And welcome here. And I hope you have a wonderful time here. Good luck to your show. Yun, thank you very much.
And the passions, that special place that should.
There is no doubt that Regine spells success in whatever endeavor she ventures into, and the fans await the next stage that they will share with a new Regine Velasquez. Whatever it is, the proud Filipina will surely make the nation even prouder. What was it really like when you reached the summit? Ano yung unang pumasok sa isip nyo? Naiyak ka ba? Nagdasal ka ba?
Well, masikip lang kasi maliit lang yung summit, no? At medyo marami kami nung time na yon. So you don't really have a time na magmuni-muni, iyak ka doon.
More than 29,000 feet, the highest point in the world, 3 Filipinas waved the Philippine flag. They braved the bitter cold and erratic weather changes to show what the Pinays are truly made of. Kilalanin natin ang bawat isa sa kanila and find out what it feels like to be on top of the world. Because it is there. This is the major reason why every mountaineer dreams of reaching the summit of the majestic Mount Everest. With more than 29,000 feet above sea level, this makes it the highest point on Earth. The snow-capped mountain is located on the borders of Nepal and Tibet. To date, more than 2,000 have attempted to reach the summit. Some were victorious, others failed. In 2005, Filipino mountaineers Romy Garduce, Leo Aracion, and Pastor Amata and their team felt it was time that they make their way up. Finally, the Philippine flag was swaying proudly on top of Everest.
Sa wakas, nasa summit na ako!
It was history in the making.
Ito ay nagpapatunay na kahit anong seemingly impossible, ay kaya ng Pinoy.
But like they say, history repeats itself. Only this time, the Pinays would like to raise two flags. One of their countries and the other ang bandila ng mga babae. Determinasyon, tiyaga at pananampalataya. These are the most important things for Noel Wenceslao, Karina Dayondon, and Janet Bellarmino. In just 1 year, the Pinays made a world record. They are the first Filipinas and the first Southeast Asian women to reach the summit of Mount Everest.
What was it really like when you reached the summit? Ano yung unang pumasok sa isip niyo? Naiyak ka ba? Nagdasal ka ba?
Well, masikip lang kasi maliit lang yung summit, no? At medyo marami kami nung time na yon. So you don't really have a time na magmuni-muni, iyak ka doon.
Mag-reflect.
For very first things, talagang yung sigh of relief na summit na. Parang ito na yon. At nagpasalamat. Pero you cannot really celebrate fully kasi it's just half of the expedition, just half of your job. The other half is going down, and unfortunately, going down is most often than not more difficult than going up.
But there's no mistaking that these three proud Pinays, bukod sa may ibubuga, may kanya-kanyang hiwaga. Each of their story is as interesting as Mount Everest. Meet Noel Wenceslao. She was the first one to summit among the three by 10 minutes. This 27-year-old has been a member of the UP Mountaineers. She has also won many awards as a Dragon Boat team member. An adventure racer, a physical education student, and a loving daughter. Karina Dayondon is a native of Bukidnon Province. This 28-year-old was next to summit, and for more than 11 years, she has been scaling mountains, a formidable sports climber, a responsible daughter, and a generous sister. Last but not the least is Janet Bellarmino, also a member of the UP Mountaineers, a tennis coach, a champion triathlete, a devoted wife, and a proud mom to her baby named Himalaya.
Nung pagka-offer ng project na to, we're on financially, talaga drain yung family namin. So, immediately sana pagka-graduate ko magtrabaho na ako para matulungan yung mga kapatid ko makapag-aral. Pero parang pikit mad akong in-accept ng offer na to na parang hindi mahindian talaga ng mga taong nasa passion ng sports na to.
Almost a month after their successful expedition, the three girls confessed about the big changes in their ordinary lives.
Superstar na. Hindi naman. Nag-change siya sa schedule, ang dami naming maglibot kami para magpasalamat sa mga sponsors. And then, dami kami naging kaibigan, dami na nagtitext sa amin, joke.
And then, tsaka syempre, we get also to meet personalities like you, di ba? Nakikita lang namin noon sa TV.
Noel, people are asking for your autograph. What's that like?
Wala, feeling ko minsan parang pinagtitripan lang ako.
Kasi ganun siya. Nagtitrip siya.
Nangihingi kasi
ng autograph. Nangihingi kasi siya ng mga autograph ng mga significant personality.
Ako kasi,
Pinagtripan
ano
niya.
lang naman yun di ba? Parang pag humingi sila, then, ng signature, gano'n. Para sa akin, that's just their way of appreciating appreciating the effort that we did.
But where did their strength and courage come from? Sabi ng tatlo, the trials they have experienced in life made them tough enough to brave the high altitude and the erratic weather changes of Mount Everest.
Applicable ba yung achievement nyo sa summit ng Mount Everest sa totoong buhay? I mean, have you overcome all your fears?
Everest is just a metaphor of life. So, parang yung mga problema natin, Everest yan eh. So, ang dami mong loan, ang dami mong utang, ang dami mong problema sa pamilya. Yun yung mga Everest na mga kanya-kanyang buhay. So, ma-apply talaga yan.
Karina, ikaw, what did you learn going up? Anong mga struggles mo while going up there?
Struggles? Kasi galing ako probinsya, and then galing kasi ako sa malaking family. So, nung estudyante pa na ako, gusto ko lang talaga makapagtapos ng pag-aaral, and then makatulong sa family ko, sa mga kapatid ko. Nung pagka-offer ng project na to, we're on financially, talaga drain yung family namin. So, immediately sana pagka-graduate ko, magtrabaho na ako para matulungan yung mga kapatid ko makapag-aral. Pero parang pikit mad akong in-accept ng offer na to na parang hindi mahindian talaga ng mga taong nasa passion ng sports na to. Parang kung baga nga, itong going to Everest is every mountaineer's dream na in other athletes parang pumunta na sila sa Olympic.
Anong sinabi ng family mo? Were they na-discourage ka ba? Na huwag ka naman mag-ambisyon mag-Everest. Magtrabaho ka na lang.
Di ba sabi, ba't pa ako akyat may prize ba? Wala namang prize nun sa pag-akyat namin. As a person, madami kaming natutunan.
Na wala pong imposible kung magsama-sama tayong mga Pilipino.
Janet, among the three, received a lot of attention from the public. Months before their climb to Everest, her baby was just born.
You had given birth, and then 3 months old pa lang yung anak mo. You had to leave. What was that like?
Yeah, I think it was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my entire life. Mahirap kasi syempre you have to sacrifice a lot. Like, yung time mo to be close, yung bonding mo na the time that you're supposed to spend with your baby. Syempre, I stopped breastfeeding very early. Yung na-sacrifice ko din yung nutrition that he could have gotten in breastfeeding. And syempre, yung bonding namin, because iba talaga yung bonding nung nagbe-breastfeed, di ba? So, I sacrificed that, and yun nga sabi ni Karina, pikit mata. Mahirap pero pikit mata, sige lang.
It was a different story for Noelle. She was at an expedition when she lost her mother, and it was hard for her to mourn over a loss while she's trying to reach for the top. However, she drew her strength from that experience.
All of us had to put in a lot of sacrifices. Yun nga, parang sinabi rin namin na we're bound together by our sacrifices, na the commitment that we made to the team was a commitment we made to each other, na sama-sama natin gagawin to.
When you were climbing, you said you felt your mom.
Yeah, I know
what
she
way?
was. I don't dream of her when I'm here sa Philippines with all the noise. I think of her, but I don't dream of her at night. Tapos parang when I was on expedition, every night talaga, my dream was only her. Tapos it's always positive, like simple things, like nag-grocery kami together, and she's like, uy, kumain ka na marami kasi naka-expedition ka. She was really with me. I felt her with me nung nasa Everest. I had a stronger resolve to try to reach the summit because I felt very personal with the mountain, na parang mama ko yun.
nag-makeup na kayo for TV.
Parang kaming tatlo, feeling ko, closet kikay.
Closet
Kasi
kikay.
parang baka pagtawanan lang kami pag nag-try kami.
It was not surprising how these three women made it to the summit. All three Pinays are members of the Philippine Coast Guard.
Bakit sports ang napasukan niyo? What were you like as children? Nag-ano ba kayo? Competitive ba talaga kayo ng bata? Paano mo na-discover na kakaiba yung talent mo? Sports.
Kami as a childhood, Janet and me, lumaki kami sa probinsya eh. So, active na talaga yung ano namin eh, yung buhay.
So, patakbo-takbo talaga.
Yung mga takbuhan.
Pero nung maliit kayo, takbo-takbo kayo, ano ba sabi ng daddy nyo? Oh, magkakaroon na kayo ng peklat. Dito lang kayo, upo lang kayo.
Malikot ako na nasa yung daming pekla, tapos kabot ng
ito,
kabot.
wala
Kasi
pa,
ano eh,
lagyan mo
parang
yan.
nung bata ko, di ba, nasa probinsya, kailangan after lunch, matulog ka, di ba, siesta. Ako, talagang mag-sneak ako, tapos maglalaro ako doon sa sapa, tapos pagbalik ko, itim-itim ko na, alam mo yung daming sugat. So yun, parang ever since I was a kid, I really loved the outdoors. Pero naput talaga ako sa sports because of my dad. Kasi tinuruan niya ako mag-tennis eh.
I once upon a time I was a good tennis player. And I passed it to her. And we practiced every day tennis until she became very good sa sports.
How about you, Noel, when you were a kid? So, obviously, your life is sports. Sabi mo, kung hindi ka naglalaro ng sports, kain tulog ka. Talagang sports ka lang. But growing up, hindi ka ba na-pressure na parang, girly things na lang, let's just play with dolls?
Yung life ko as a kid, parang yung closest ko to parang physical activity was ballet, ganyan. Pero sandali lang yun kasi the school eventually kicked me out kasi talagang walang pag-asa. Umakit ka lang ng Everest, sabi mo. Hindi, pero yun nga, parang ganun lang. Tapos yung childhood ko, parang school, academics, tas quizby, ganyan. Tapos hindi ko ma-imagine yung feeling na pinapawisan.
So you were not into sports as a child?
There was a time na meron kaming sinalihan na high school parang quizby. It was held in UP. And daming nagjo-jogging sa UP, the likes of Janet and Karina, mga athletic people. Hindi ko talaga maintindihan yung buhay ng mga athletic. Tapos dumaan yung jogger sa car. Tapos parang ako, yung feeling ng pinapawisan, ang lagkit siguro noon, hindi. Tapos yung father ko, nag-assemble ng mountain bike para sa akin. Tapos parang mountain bike tayo together kasi a big influence outdoors yung father ko. Pero ayoko kasi papawisan ako, tapos iitim ako. Parang ayoko.
I can't imagine.
So, yun. Tapos nung 98 na sumali ako sa UP Dragon Boat team, tapos na-discover ko yung sports at masarap pala siya.
Si Noel yung talagang risk taker sa kanilang tatlo. Ang talagang go yan, si Noel. Karina is the tougher, also a tougher climber. Quiet, but very, very determined. Up to a point of being stubborn. They look at her as a stubborn person, but I think reflective yung sa talagang Karina is a very determined person.
Ito yung pinaka-centralized place namin.
She is now married, may baby siya. But it did not also diminish her quest for challenges.
Ang masasabi ko lang, gandang Pinay nila, original. Walang halong hocus-pocus, walang halong make-up.
Though these mountaineers sport a rugged look, we found out that they haven't lost their feminine side.
lang, may kikay side ba kayo? Are you... Ayun, nag-makeup na kayo for TV? Or...
Ay, dito lang.
Talaga?
Pero,
in real life,
on
hindi
our
kayo
own,
nag-makeup?
Kasi normal lang talaga kami nagbabike kung may mga errands. Andun kami
Kikay
sa...
side daw.
Hindi,
Oh.
kaya nga wala nga. Wala.
Noel, you're the most kikay na in the group.
Hala!
Yes. Ano lang yan, facade niya lang yan. Yung mga boys,
May headband siya na, ano yun dyan?
Pink. Furry na pink.
But you cut your hair because of the climb?
Because of the expedition. It's always been long. Parang ganyan, below the shoulders talaga.
Well, ako, ano talaga, mahilig talaga ako sa mga sandals, mga strappy sandals. Pero pangit ng pa ako kasi masyadong maraming
Patay pa lahat ng kuko.
Yeah, so wala talaga akong occasion to wear them, so I don't buy them. Pero ang dami talaga pag nakakita ko sa mall.
Parang
ang ganda, parang gustong-gusto kong bumili pero pag nasa ng
I
pero
think
kasi wala na,
kasi-
lagi ako nakalawas, naka-chinelas.
Parang kaming tatlo, feeling ko closet kikay.
Closet
Ganun.
kikay.
Kasi parang baka pagtawanan lang kami pag nag-try kami.
Reaching the summit of Mount Everest may be a giant leap for Filipinas. This is just the beginning for the three to climb to greater heights.
So, what else do you want to do now after climbing Mount Everest? Ano pang mga dreams niyo?
Amin, yung Everest namin ngayon is really gusto namin talaga ma-realize ng lahat ng Pilipina, lahat ng Pilipino, anyone, kahit sino on Earth. Yung gusto namin ma-realize nila na anything is possible. Filipinas are everywhere in the world and they're excelling everywhere. They're putting in their own part of the contribution to Filipinahood nga. So may mga Pilipina sa Pilipinas na naguhukay ng kamote, nag-aalaga ng anak. Merong mga Pilipina na they are excelling in the fashion world. I don't know, in New York, may mga Pilipina na doctors, Filipina nurses were very well recognized sa United States. And para sa amin, the last place on Earth na wala pang Pilipina is the summit of Mount Everest. And on May 16 nga, napunuan namin yung last place on Earth na walang Pilipina. Now, lahat ng lugar sa buong mundo may Pilipina na.
It certainly feels good to be on top of the world, one thing that each Pinay would hope to achieve. Maybe it's not necessary to climb the tallest mountain on Earth, but the three Pinays dream bigger dreams for other Filipinas.
I am Noel.
I'm Karina.
And I'm Janet.
And we are proud Filipinas.
Next week on Proudly Filipina, she is a perfect mix of brains and beauty, a tiger in the political arena, an advocate of women, a doting mother. Up close and personal with Senator Lauren Legarda.
Simpleng-simple akong tao. Yung pagpaganda, importante, kaya lang sa panahon ko, kulang talaga ang panahon. Importante syempre, una ang grooming, no? At saka hygiene. My first appearance on television, I made horrible mistakes. I was nervous. There were mispronunciations. There was one time, it was about Korea. I think the place was Seoul. And I read it, I said, Seoul. It was on air, live. I came out again on Channel 7 with Discorama. I was a DJ. I was in this high seat, and I had leopard outfits with one earring and fluffy hair, frizzy. VJ, Donita Rose, I was original DJ. Nakakatawa, no?
She's the founder, the president, and chief executive officer of Mega Magazine Publishing.
Okay, Sari has a meeting in Carmona, and we are going there by chopper with Ambassador. Regular day in Sari's life.
Money is not my motivation. It's the journey that I like. It's a journey of creating, making things bigger. In fact, Daphne, when we were expanding from one magazine to how big to our size right now, I was clinically depressed. I mean, as a proud Filipina, I think people should. I think it's good to share that because I'm sure a lot of people are suffering from that and baka kinakahiya nila. Hindi nakakahiya yan. Kailangan yung pumunta sa psychiatrist. Go!
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Daphne Osenia Paez. Join me again next week as we embark in heartfelt and meaningful conversations with inspiring Filipinas who share their stories of struggles and triumphs. You have that in your heart, the power to be what you want to be, the power to make a difference, because we are all proudly Filipina.